Hi y'all, I am back with another what sold video. Previously I did the summer of 2022, so that included up until about midway through August, and I wanted to do a new one that included items that sold for $40 or more, and some of them do date back to beginning of August because they weren't included in the 50 plus video. So I am backtracking a little bit, and then also what sold the second half of August. So let's get to it. First is this Hello Molly dress. It is a chocolate brown color and it is a wrap dress. It sold within 44 days of listing, and I had listed it at $60. I received an offer for $40 and I went ahead and accepted. I paid $17.44 and that left me with a profit of $14.56. The second item is this pajama set. It is by the brand Vince. It was 100% silk and it was in this really pretty tropical jungle print. It sold in 45 days. I had listed it at $150. There were no comps for this exact set. And it had retailed, I think, for about $6.75 between the two pieces, and they were sold separately. And together they amounted to $675, which was high retail. I think the top had been altered. The tag had been removed from the top, but the bottom still had it. There were a couple of snags in the silk, so I felt like $150 was reasonable. It sat for a little bit, again 45 days, and I received an offer for $65. So not really knowing its true resale value because there weren't any comps. Maybe I could have waited and got more, but I decided just to go ahead and take it. So I paid $35.32, which amounted to a profit of $16.68. The third item was new without tags. So it was part of a sample sale for free people, and the sample tag had been removed. I had priced it at $80. I received an offer for 50% off, so they offered $40. I went ahead and accepted. The item had been listed for 82 days before it sold, which is a pretty good amount. And when I first listed it, I couldn't find a stock photo or the style name, so I just listed it as a sleeveless sweater, not as a vest. And it was getting like no attention whatsoever, so I knew when it came time to relist, I needed to do a deep dive and really find the stock photo and style name. So I did find that. I relisted it and it sold pretty quickly after relisting it with the correct information that people are actually looking for. So I'm glad it sold. Again, it went like half of what I'd really like, but one thing with it, the center back seam seemed kind of wonky. It was not like perfectly straight, and it was a sample item, so I thought maybe they just like quickly pieced it together before it went into production. So I did disclose that, and I paid $9.50, so I made a profit of $22.50 on this item. Next up is a new with tag hoodie. It is a National Hockey League brand called Seattle Kraken. I was not familiar with this brand whatsoever, or with this team, I should say. The brand was Red Jacket. This came in liquidation. I paid $5.56. I had listed it at $45. I received an offer for $40 and accepted. It took a while, so I listed it in March. It sold in August. 149 days to sell, and I made $24.72 on it. Next up were these shoes that I was so excited to find. These are Freebird by Stephen Moana. Oh, by Stephen. And the style is Moana. They are a pair of flats in the color Ice. I did pay up for these at a thrift store, but they still had the stuffing in the toe part, and I could tell they hadn't been worn, so I did think it was totally worth paying up for them, and I was just excited to find the brand. So I listed it August 1st. It sold August 21st, so just 20 days. I listed it at $200 and received an offer for $140. Possibly I could have held out and probably got closer to my asking price of $200, or even potentially sold it for full price. But I was kind of just ready for a quick flip. I paid $83.73 and I profited $25.59. So I hope to come across this brand again. I thought it was so fun to find. Next up is this child item. So this is from the brand The Simple Folk. If you watched my last video, I did talk about this brand a little bit. This is a corduroy pinafore, and it's in the color Rust. This sold on Kidizen. I listed it at $80 and I received an offer for $50. So I went ahead and accepted. I kind of sold off the vast majority of my stock of this brand, and I'm kind of down to, I don't know, 15, 20 pieces. So I'm kind of just ready to see it go, because it's been, I think I started listing them in June. And I'm kind of getting down to the less substantial pieces, so like onesies instead of dresses or skirts, or like a play suit set. So this one I went ahead and accepted. I listed June 7th, it sold August 18th, so 72 days to sell. I paid $8.50 via liquidation, and I profited $30.32 on this dress. I think that's great for a kids item. The brand has a following, and it's been pretty quick to sell them off, so that has been nice. Next up is a dress that is from my own closet. I bought it full price for a wedding, I don't know, maybe 4 years ago. It's been a bit. I ended up not wearing it. I bought two at the time and ended up wearing the other one. So the cost of goods, I ended up putting $0 since I paid my own money for it, not any business money. I listed it at $50 and it sold at $40 via offer. I originally had it listed probably more towards $70, $80, and it was not getting enough attention, or I was getting lower offers more towards the $40 range, I think even $30, that I declined at first. And then I realized that was probably its going price, because it was listed for 170 days. So I listed it in March and it sold in August. It's quite a while for it to be listed, and since I was just getting lower offers, I think it just wasn't holding the value I thought it was holding. So with the cost of goods being $0 on that, that left a profit of $32. Next up is this dress by Express. It is new with tags. This I received via liquidation. I listed it at $60 and it sold at $45 via offer. I went ahead and accepted. It was listed June 22nd, sold August 15th, so 54 days to sell. And I paid $2.75 for this item, so I made a profit of $33.25. And I think it was unlined. I had a couple of questions on the comments asking if it was lined, and it wasn't. So I'm not sure if that's why it maybe took a little bit longer, because there was quite a bit of interest in it. It just took 54 days to sell. Next up are these Everlane flats. They are the 90s square toe style, and they are in the color olive. I listed them August 1st. They sold August 21st, so just 20 days to sell. I listed them at $70, and they were getting quite a bit of attention, but I wasn't receiving any offers until the one I ended up accepting. But the number of likes was rather high, just not a lot of offers. So I received an offer for $49. I went ahead and accepted. I didn't have a cost of good of this item, so I ended up trading in some items at Plato's Closet and then got these pair of shoes in return, but they were $10.58 if I hadn't traded any items in. It left me with a profit of $36.52. Okay, next up, this is an eBay sale. So this brand I wasn't familiar with, but they looked interesting, so I looked them up on my phone, found some comps, and decided to try it out because they were at a cheap price at a thrift store. And the thrift store in particular, it has like a showcase section where there's higher end shoes that they're aware of, and then everything else is in a different section. This was in that different section, but I saw the Made in Italy stamp, and that's what made me want to look it up, just to see if it was anything worthwhile. And it turns out they retail for quite a bit of money, and the resale looked pretty decent on them. So this is the brand M. Jimmy, and they're the green python snake driving loafer moccasins. I listed them August 2nd, and they sold August 16th, so just 14 days to sell. They sold on eBay for $75.90, and that's including shipping. So after shipping and my cost of goods, I profited $47.25. I got these from the thrift store for $6.92. So that was quite a steal. I had listed them for $80 plus shipping, and someone sent an offer, maybe it was like $65 plus shipping to amount to the $75.90, I think. But I did go ahead and accept that via offer. Next up is a Poshmark sale. So these are a liquidation item. They are new with tags. The brand is Hestra. They were elk leather gloves. Comps looked rather high, so I went ahead and listed them at $100. I listed them May 20th and they sold August 24th, so 96 days to sell. They did sell via offer, so someone sent an offer for $70 and I went ahead and accepted. I still felt like that was reasonable. As I was packaging up the item, I realized that I listed it new with tags when they were new without tags. So I did end up messaging the buyer and letting them know, like, hey, I made a mistake. These are actually new without tags. Like, if that's a problem, please let me know and I'll cancel your order. But the buyer was super understanding and still happy to get them for that price. So at $70, I made a profit of $50.02 because I paid $5.98 for these gloves. So win, that was a really good profit. Let's see, 3 more to go. So next up is this new with tag dress. It's by JS Collections. So in the title, I tried to include like Art Deco, and in the tags, I tried to include like Gatsby or Flapper, because that's kind of the style that this dress reminded me of. It was a beaded sequin dress, and this brand does retail a little bit high, so I went ahead and listed it at $70, and I listed it June 16th. It sold August 25th, so just 70 days to sell. I did get full asking price. It sold for $70. I paid $2.75 via liquidation, and that left me with $53.25 profit. So that one was a good one. Next up are these new with box Gani recycled rubber city boots. I got these via retail arbitrage, and I listed them at $200. I sold them in 16 days, so all within the same month of August. They ended up selling via offer for $150. Again, it was 16 days. I was okay with kind of a quick flip on this one. I paid $61.92 for these boots, and I made $58.08. Okay, last item is this red Valentino dress. It's the style Abito Street, and it's a flower butterfly print. I listed it at $200. I think the retail was somewhere around like $8.75 if I remember correctly. So very expensive dress. I listed it March 22nd and it sold August 18th, so 149 days to sell. So it did take a bit. I think I had relisted it at least once, maybe twice in that time. I did keep it, I believe, at the same price. I don't think I lowered it. But it ended up selling full price. So it sold for $200. I paid $9.75. So I made a profit of $150.25. So that's it. That was all that sold for $40 or more in the month of August, excluding the couple that were mentioned in my previous video. I didn't feel the need to mention them again. So if you want to see more of what's been selling for $40, $50 or more, watch the last video, and feel free to comment, like, subscribe. I am new to this and I'm starting to feel a little bit more confident. I know the more I do, it'll get better, so please bear with me. Thanks for watching.